Hi there. Welcome to everyone to CareerForce Virtual Career Fair on Monday, July 13th, 2020. We'll get started in just 1 minute. In the meantime, in the Q&A area, Q&A is a little question mark box. I've entered in an attendance form. If you could please click on that. Hopefully in a different browser window, an attendance form will open up and sign in with your name and first and last name and your zip code, just so that we know that you are here. We also have subtitles that can be turned on, or CC, closed captioning, on the bottom of your screen. You can turn them on in either English, Arabic, Hmong, Spanish, Swahili, or Thai. And also, as we progress throughout the day, you can type in your information in the Q&A area with, again, that same little question mark area. And we'll begin in maybe 30 seconds. Okay, it's 10:30. Welcome to the virtual Career Fair on Monday, July 13th with CareerForce. I welcome everyone here today. Before we get started, just a couple reminders, housekeeping details. Ask questions in the Q&A box. You can turn on subtitles or closed captioning in English, Arabic, Hmong, Spanish, Swahili, or Thai by going to the little gear wheel at the bottom of your browser. Also, please sign in with your first and last name in the Q&A area and your zip code so we know you're here. Just as if you were walking into a real room and signing your name on a sheet of paper. I'm Liz Jennings. I'm Employer Engagement Specialist for CareerForce. I'm so happy to welcome you, the job seekers, and the following businesses today. We have ABM Facility Services, Seneca Foods, Ream Kenworth, Catalia Foods, and OMNI Lakes Hotel. I'd like to get started by welcoming ABM Services with Charlotte Anderson. Charlotte.
Good morning. Thank you for welcoming us to participate in this virtual job fair this morning. ABM is a company which is headquartered, our corporate headquarters is out of New York, and we have been in business now for over 100 years. If I could have the next slide, please. Okay. We are known for integrated facility solutions, which basically means that we can go into a facility and offer more than just janitorial. We can offer electrical and lighting. We offer energy solutions, facilities engineering, such as HVAC and mechanical. We also offer landscape and turf services, as well as mission critical solutions in parking. So we have over 200,000 employees nationwide and over 350 offices. And as I said earlier, we're founded in 1909 by a gentleman who was simply going around and doing window washing. And it has grown to what it is today. Now, this position in which we are looking to fill today does come with benefits. The benefits are as follows. We offer medical, dental, vision insurance. We also offer additional insurances such as long-term, short-term disability. We offer supplemental life and AD&D. We have paid holidays. You can earn vacation and workers' compensation. Next slide, please. The position in which we are trying to fill today is that of a cleaner position. This position is located in, and please forgive me if I mispronounce the city, Minnetonka, Minnesota. Is working at the facility known as United Health Group. This position is going to require the person to, of course, provide cleaning and upkeep of the assigned area. The assigned area could be, will be actually an office building. The duties are going to involve cleaning, maintaining carpets, cleaning the restrooms, vacuuming, emptying the waste baskets, and so on and so forth. And because of the corona epidemic, we are now offering enhanced cleaning. And enhanced cleaning means another layer of cleaning with specialized materials that ABM has proprietary ownership of, and that would involve that individual being taught on how to use these chemicals properly. The last thing we want to do is endanger the lives of anyone who is helping to maintain or clean an office. So therefore, we are requiring the person to go through approximately an 8-hour training in which we will provide additional training. The positions that we have open are two. The first one is working Monday through Friday. Well, they're both working Monday through Friday. The first one is from 6:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. And the other one is from 4 p.m. to midnight. Once again, both of these positions are Monday through Friday. We have the links here in which you can go and apply, or you can apply by using your cell phone, by texting the code to these particular phone numbers. Once again, the location for this position is at 9900 Graham Road East in Minnetonka, Minnesota. The only thing that we do ask is that you have reliable transportation, particularly if you're interested in working the evening shift. I understand this is in a suburb, and public transportation does end prior to midnight. So therefore, we would want you to have transportation in order to return back home. The pay for this position is $17.17 an hour. And if you have any questions, this is my contact information. I can be reached by email at charlotte.anderson@abm.com. And I do have my phone number listed there as well, which is 737-218-3122. I thank you once again for the opportunity to present ABM, and certainly hope that there are a few of you out there who will apply for the position. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlotte. I don't see any questions coming in. Do you have any, Pat?
I have not seen any right now either. So it sounds like a great opportunity for someone.
Right, right. Yeah, Charlotte, is there anything else you want to add to? We've got 1 minute or 2 minutes.
No, in addition to of course, the positions of which I'm here to try to fill, I invite anyone to go out to our website, which is generally abm.com, and it will provide you with all positions that we have open. Maybe someone is not necessarily looking for a cleaner position, but maybe looking for something else, or may know of someone who is looking for positions. We have staff and management positions as well as service worker positions. So abm.com.
That's great. How many positions do you often have in Minnesota? How many different contracts or facilities?
That's hard to say at this moment, Liz. It varies, but maybe on an average, or maybe probably about 5, maybe 10, both staff and management. So it could be positions in which they are supervisors, or they are account managers for an account. So that's why, it just doesn't have to be a cleaning position.
Sure.
Alrighty, we do have a question on that. Someone is on your website and sees a position available in Savage, Minnesota. Is that position still available?
If it is on our website, then in fact it still is. We don't like to have positions open and if they're in a pending closing status. So.
And how would they find out the location address in Savage for the position?
We would invite them to go ahead and apply for the position, and then either the recruiter who is assigned to the position could reach out to them and provide them with that information at the appropriate time. Not all our positions, we don't ever divulge the physical locations. We will just give you the city and the state in which the position is located in.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Charlotte.
All right.
Let's
Thank y'all.
Yeah, great to have you. Let's move ahead. And I'd like to invite the team from Seneca Foods to talk.
Yes, thank you, Liz. My name is Zach Weike. Good morning to everybody. My pleasure to speak with all of you today. I'm going to start by introducing myself. I'm the plant manager at Seneca Foods in Montgomery, Minnesota. I've been with Seneca Foods for 10 years. I got my start in 2010 in Glencoe, Minnesota. There's 3 plants in Minnesota: Blue Earth, Glencoe, and Montgomery. So I started in Glencoe as a seasonal, harvesting corn. I then transferred into the plant driving forklift as a seasonal, then a mechanic in the canning room, and a mechanic in the cookers. And then I became a group leader, and then I was transferred out to Ripon, Wisconsin as a production supervisor. Finally, I was moved to Montgomery in 2016 as a warehouse supervisor. I became a plant superintendent in 2017, and then this last year I took a plant manager position here in Montgomery. Seneca's philosophy is we promote from within, and I'm living, breathing proof of that philosophy. So again, thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to go in kind of explaining what we do at Seneca Foods. Just to start, we have approximately 645 million meals that we produce here every year in Minnesota in the 3 to 4 months that we produce vegetables. So we will bring in peas, corn on the cob, green beans, beets, or carrots at one of our 3 Minnesota locations. We staff about 1,400 seasonal employees in Minnesota every year. Our canning plants have been around for almost 100 years, starting in 1926. They are some of the original canning plants, the original Green Giant canning plants. And we produce products for over 240 different labels. You know, 1 out of 3 cans you see on the store shelves comes from Seneca Foods. And we're a major contributor to the nation's vegetables. So if you're looking for a job, we have 30 to 40 job titles at each location in all skill sets, from general labor all the way up to supervisor or management type skills. We have them all open, and typically throughout the year, during a harvest season is majority of our production type job titles that are open. We have housing available both on and off site. The job is 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can earn up to $1,000 a week. So it's good money. We do pay overtime. So really, it's a good place to work at, great values, and so that can all be found if you call 888-JOBS-107. Again, that's 888-JOBS-107. They can help you out in what positions we have available. We have positions, again, available in Glencoe, Blue Earth, and Montgomery. Blue Earth is about down by the Iowa border. Montgomery is about 35 miles southwest of the Twin Cities, and Glencoe is straight west by about 45 miles of the Twin Cities. So it's kind of Seneca Foods and what we're about.
That's great. Yeah, Minnesota is really in the hub of the United States agricultural system. I mean, the work that Seneca Foods does is so many play a key role in essential business in the United States. Isn't that that true?
That is correct. We've got, throughout the United States, we've got about 30 facilities throughout the United States. We produce anything and everything vegetable or fruit related. So we're a key player in the vegetable and fruit market. We distribute to over 200 different countries throughout the world. So, we're very active in that market, and we are an agricultural based company. So a lot of our processing revolves around Mother Nature and agriculture.
Right. Pat, questions?
I am not seeing many. Someone did type in, is there any remote work available? Not sure. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Liz.
Well, I think that was for the previous presenter.
Previous employer? Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure. So at this time, you don't either, I'm assuming?
There was one question. What does on and off-site housing look like?
So off-site, we block out hotels that we will put people up in, and we charge a nominal, it's very minimal fee for staying in the housing off-site. And then on-site, it's more military type barracks that we offer up also for a minimal fee each day, and cost of living is very cheap. We have an on-site canteen where you can get all your food from, you can order your meals, and our canteen basically just charges for the cost of the food. We are not open for profit. We are there just to cover the cost of the food. So meals are very cheap here on site.
Great. I've posted in the Q&A a URL link that people can fill out if they want someone to call them back. And then we're also going to put in the telephone number so that people can contact Seneca Foods, and that way, if they want to find out more about the positions. Do you require people to fill out a resume? Do they have to submit it, or what kind of hiring process do you have?
So we do both, depending on location and migrant status. We do contracts. If you go to senecafoods.com, you'll actually find all of our positions that are open throughout the entire company. Or call 888-JOBS-107 and we'll be able to direct you from there. But typically for labor type positions, we do not require resumes. We ask that you fill out an application online, and that'll get you into our system so that we can contact you and we can start the hiring process from there.
Sounds good. Pretty straightforward. Good. Anything else you want to add?
Not at this time, not from Seneca.
Okay, great. So glad to have you. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. Thank you for the opportunity.
So in a brief intermission, I'm going to ask everyone who has just arrived in the past few minutes to sign in on our attendance form. I'll put it back in the Q&A, and think of this as if you were walking into a room and signing your name on a sheet of paper. I will just use this to mark that you've attended in Minnesota Works. Thank you. Meanwhile, let's move on to Reem Kenworth. We have Ricky Becker here today with Reem. Welcome, Ricky.
Hello.
Go ahead.
So, Reem Family Companies has multiple branches, so that is what you're going to see right there with our mission statement. Reem Kenworth is a trucking dealer, so think of it as like a car dealer for trucking companies. Reem Leasing would do maintenance, so basic oil changes, etc. Also leasing and renting trucks to trucking companies, or truck drivers, I should say, too. RMC Truck Parts is our parts department, And then Ream Global Sales, we sell parts globally. Next slide, please. We are family owned. We are the second oldest continually operated family owned and operated Kenworth dealer in the world. Founded in 1932 in St. Paul, we are now fourth generation in the office. Currently, we have 16 locations across the Midwest. We are woman owned and ran, and Carrie Ream has won multiple awards for that. So it's pretty exciting to see, especially in the transportation industry, which is fairly male dominated. So it's just a wonderful, wonderful place to work. Next slide, please. Ream runs by our core values. So it's effective, equity, efficient, and expansion. We live by those daily. We have wonderful facilities. The shop floors have heat, drive-through service wash bays, indoor truck room, showroom, free shower and laundry facilities for our customers. And each location even has a space for their pets. South St. Paul was our location we opened about 2 years ago, and it won an award for excellence for the building. The benefits included our health, prescription, dental, vision, life, long-term disability, and then we have a few others that you can include. Next slide, please. We do promote very much from, we do try to promote from within as much as we can. We do encourage our employees to grow and move ahead in their career. Many of our employees have worked in multiple positions within the company. Personally, I go out and work with colleges throughout the Midwest to place students while they're still attending school. So if you are still in school at this time, definitely reach out to me. This allows them to gain hands-on experience in their chosen field. For example, some of our diesel techs are still going to technical school. We actually hosted a high school student this spring so that she was able to learn about marketing and HR within the trucking industry. Our vice president down in Red Wing started as a diesel tech. A couple of our service guys and girls have started as techs, so there's definitely that growth path. Next slide, please. Currently, we are looking for a branch service manager in Mankato. This position does require at least 5 years experience in managing and trucking industry. Madison, Wisconsin, I'm looking for a diesel tech. Albert Lee, I am looking for a parts counter. That would be really, the parts counter would be somebody that's worked a past truck driver, anybody that's worked with customers in the transportation industry. I also just added one after I did this slide where I'm now looking for a receptionist in Albert Lee. So that is one that I would like to fill pretty quickly. So anybody with any office experience, that sort of thing, I would highly recommend to click on the link below. You can feel free to click on our jobs. They change daily. And also feel free to reach out to me directly. My phone number and my email are on there.
That's great. I don't see any questions coming up yet. Pat, do you have any?
I do not see anything coming up either, so.
Now, Ricky, can you talk a little bit more about like career pathways at Ream? From what I understood, there's some on-the-job training and other things that you help people improve.
Yes. Now, if they were to come in as a diesel tech, that would be somebody that would have to at least have started school for at least 6 months. Because of the insurance reasons, we couldn't bring you in with no heavy equipment experience. However, we're really looking to grow the parts side of our industry even more so now, because truck driving it's always been an essential industry, but even more, it's more noticeable now with COVID and what have you. So we really want to, I think a lot of people aren't aware of this industry as much. And so that's why we've been working with some high schools to, bring in some of the students so they can learn earlier. But as far as coming on now, you can start out as, let's say, a parts runner, where then you would drive parts to the locations to our customer from the store. And then you could move up into the parts department, become a parts manager, and then move into a service role too. So it's really that, like you mentioned, that on-the-job training.
So a high school degree is required, but they
Yes.
don't, okay. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
necessarily have to have a 2-year.
No, not for those positions, but just like for the diesel tech, the main reason you would have had to start technical school for that is just because of the liability of, the risk doing that. So,
Right. And besides Mankato, Madison, and Albert Lee,
Mhm.
where are some of the other locations?
South St. Paul is our corporate. Coon Rapids is our other newest building. That one actually has a body shop in it. It's the only location that does. I feel like I'm going to forget some locations here, but so we have Madison, Albert Lee, Red Wing, Bemidji, Superior, Volga, South Dakota, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Owatonna, Northfield, and then, like I said, mentioned South St. Paul and Coon Rapids. Oh, and also Sauk Center.
Right, right.
So all
Good.
over.
Yeah, really. It's a good system. So presumably someone could get hired at one location, and if they choose to relocate, there could be perhaps an opportunity in another city.
100%. And we just opened our Mankato location. It'll be a year ago this fall. So we're still adding facilities, redoing facilities, opening a new location. So it's just, we went from 7 locations 2 years ago to all of them that I listed at now.
Right. Good.
So,
Well, this is fantastic information. Thank you for being with us, Ricky.
Yeah.
There was one question that came in, but I don't know if it's for you or for the previous company. It said, could there be on-site housing available for the Albert Lee location? And so that they might have been referring to Seneca Foods. Person who's doing the typing, maybe if you clarify that, but you don't, Ream doesn't have any on-site housing, right?
No, we do not.
No. Yeah. Good. Well, thank you very much. And anyone who's interested, they can contact Ricky at her email address at the bottom of the screen, rikki.becker@reamfamilycompanies.com. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to move ahead. Unfortunately, Amy Rush, recruiter for an HR manager for Catalia, couldn't be here today. So I'll provide a little bit of information based on her slides. I had already had it in the schedule, so we're going to keep on going. But Catalia is a maker of premium tortillas. They're located in Eagan, Minnesota, and they're family run. 3rd generation Mexican American, and they're very proud of their heritage, and they've got a corporate initiative called Catalia Cares. Amy Rush is the HR representative, and I'll have her information at the end of this presentation too. But I encourage all of you to contact Amy afterwards, and she'll respond to emails or phone numbers as she is able once she is back in the office. Her email is arush@catalia with 2 L's.com. They're hiring for positions for all shifts: production associates, mixer operator, utility, sanitation, warehouse. Again, as I said, their location is in Eagan, Minnesota, and they request that people be flexible between 5 a.m. to 3 p.m. for the first shift, 1 to 11 p.m. for the second shift, and 9 to 7 a.m. for the third shift. They offer preferred one medical insurance, company paid dental, vision, short and long-term disability, term life insurance. They have a 401k with 4% match, 2 weeks accrued PTO during your first year, and then HSA, HRA long-term health care accounts, I believe that is, and employer that the employer contributes to. So Catalia Mexican Foods is located in Eagan off of Lone Oak Road. They're an equal opportunity employer, and They have one of their pages on their website is all about the history, how they've started and how their company has been transformed a couple of times over the years. So that's worth reading. If you're interested in that position, perhaps you're in the South Metro, please send an updated resume or email at least to Amy or at careers@catalia.com. And her information, again, is Amy Rush, arush@catalia.com. I know she said she speaks Spanish and she's able to speak, with job seekers when they're able to contact her. So in any case, I encourage you to contact her with questions and consider Catalia as you are looking for a position. At this point, I'd like to welcome Molly Cohen-Phipps of OMNI Viking Lakes Hotel and Resorts.
Hi, thank you, Liz. Just to say, as you mentioned at the beginning of today's fair, as a hospitality professional, I'd love to be in a room with everybody shaking your hand. So I'm so grateful that we could actually connect in this way and to share what we have coming up actually for Omni. So I have a quick overview for us today about our company because there aren't any Omni hotels in the area. We're thrilled for this to be the first property in Minnesota, specifically in Eagan. And we are just getting started, about to have most of our positions go up for application now for our October opening. So I look forward to sharing that. If we could go to the next slide. So when Liz let us know we have 7 minutes to share, I thought, oh no, how can I put so much information in here, especially when it comes to our culture, which is something that Omni is exceptionally well known for in the hospitality world. So here's a little bit of what is a really, really broad spectrum of programs and initiatives that we are passionate about in Omni, and again, what our company is largely known for in hospitality. But I wanted to share what our core values are, because I think that's a good way to get to know what our group is like and what our leadership is like, as well as some initiatives that we have. So our core values, I should say our company, we're a luxury hotel brand whose family of associates puts the soul in hospitality every day. So to support that, our core values are creating memorable experiences for our guests, to have leaders creating leaders. It's not just enough to have a great manager. It's about having somebody who's dedicated, passionate about your growth and success every step of the way. Every associate is a valued member of the Omni family. So I'm going to speak to a couple of those photos on the right here for that in just a moment. We're dedicated to responsible financial management because, of course, without a successful business, we wouldn't be here and our guests wouldn't be here. So we want to make sure that we keep that into account with everything that we do. We work to strengthen our brand value. We're dedicated to local market leadership and being a part of our communities in every single way in all of the cities that there's an Omni hotel. And most recently, and very excitingly, we've added on a new core value dedicated to focus, passion, energy, and drive, which is the one that I think we feel most in every step of what's happening in Omni Viking Lakes, which is really exciting. So briefly, some of our programs include Say Goodnight to Hunger. Our Say Goodnight to Hunger initiative is one in which we support food insecurity and essentially providing meals through Feeding America for every hotel reservation that's booked at an Omni hotel. We also like to do with our team monthly activities supporting this and other philanthropic initiatives, because this is something that a lot of our associates would like to do. So how amazing is it that you can do it through work? We really like to integrate that in every way that we can. And then I also just wanted to mention our Omni Circle program, which is an internal fund. It's actually based from associate donations, so employees who work with Omni donating towards other Omni associates who might have a need. It was born out of Hurricane Katrina's impacts actually in one of our hotels, but has also been incredibly active right now during COVID and what this has meant for hospitality and for a lot of our associates. And there's actually even an ownership donation component as well. So this is not a loan, this is just a grant that you can apply for through Omni. 100% what comes in goes back to team members who might have hardship in their life for some reason. So thank you, Liz. Next slide. So about the hotel, just in case you've seen this beautiful building being built off the 494 and Dodd, this is our hotel. So Omni is so thrilled to be a part of this project, and ultimately we were one of the anchor points of the new Viking Lakes headquarters, so the Viking Lakes campus. So it's really exciting to be part of this process and what is developing to be a mixed use development. So ultimately there's going to be housing, there's going to be retail, there's going to be a whole lot more that continues to come down the line, but the hotel is building up now to join the Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center and TCO Stadium and the Vikings Museum, which are already here on the complex. And again, we are set to open in October, which is extremely exciting. So throughout the hotel, you'll actually see, and we just have a couple photos here from construction, that the design is inspired by Nordic elements. My favorite is this column. This is a carved wooden column going into the lobby. That's a really nice example of, I think, the naturally inspired and Nordic inspired flair that's going to be throughout the entire property. And thank you. Next slide. So in more detail, and again, we would have so much to talk about, so I'm excited to connect with anybody in the Zoom session after this if you have more questions. But for the hotel specifically, we're going to have 14 stories and 320 guest rooms. That includes, whoops, oh, there we go. That includes 6 two-story hospitality lounges, which is something that we've actually never had at any of our hotels before. And then guest services will include valet parking, lobby retail, and a few other components. We'll actually have a spa on property, which is going to include, 7+ treatment rooms and a sauna, steam room, a spa lounge. We're going to have some really cool features in there that are specific, again, to the identity of the hotel, including an ice fountain and a salt wall, which I can't wait to see what that looks like. And then our services for the spa will include massage therapy, facials, nail services, and spa retail. And then for our food and beverage components at the hotel, we are so excited. This is one of the most amazing things about this property. We actually have our 3-meal restaurant is being developed in partnership with Chef Ann Kim, who is so loved, of course, in our neighborhood. And this creative mind behind Pizzeria Lola and Young Joni's, Hello Pizza, Suki and Mimi. So we're thrilled to be able to develop this restaurant with her and her team, and to be the first Ann Kim restaurant on this side of the river. So there is going to be a lot of energy and a lot of activity with this project. And in addition to the 3-meal restaurant, we'll have a sports bar with an outdoor terrace, which of course is going to be very popular on game days, and espresso and a lobby bar. And then lastly, we actually have a large component for meetings and events, whether it be corporate events or social events like weddings or receptions. We'll have 35,000 square feet of meeting space and all the banquet capabilities to support that as well. Thank you, Liz. Next slide. So lastly, in addition to all of our culture pieces, and again, our commitment to making sure that we have a really rewarding space for all of our associates, we actually have a full suite of benefit programs we just wanted to touch in as well, which I'm really happy to help answer questions on. But we offer health insurance, dental, vision, similar to many of the other components that were mentioned with our colleagues here on the call, ancillary programs, which I'm happy to speak to, 401k. Some other things that maybe are a little bit more traditional would include associate parking. So of course we know at some of our neighboring hotels in downtown, parking is an extra expense, unfortunately. So we're really thrilled that of course with the development in Egan that this is not something extra that you would need to have a cost come out of your pocket for. And there's actually also public transit lines in development now to the campus, specifically to the hotel. So we're really thrilled for that as well, for a driving alternative. We'll have discount programs. We'll have hotel discounts at any of the other Omni properties. I love that we have a tuition reimbursement program. So if there's something that you wanted to apply for that will help better your skills at work, you can actually be confirmed for up to $2,000 of a reimbursement. And that could be any level position. So for example, I've seen some of our bartenders have been able to work on their sommelier credentials, just as a non-management example. We have referral bonuses because we know our great people know great people. So if you join our team and you're able to recommend somebody else for another position, there's actually a bonus for that as well. And the thing that I love talking about the absolute most is our development programs. In Omni, we call this Growing the Garden, and we have at least 5 different programs for, helping you if you're a new college grad get into your first manager level role. If you're a manager and you want to become an executive, we have what's called our executive and development role. We have what's called Stepping Up, which is for somebody who's in any position in the hotel. Maybe you're in an entry level role in the front office or in the restaurant, and you want to know what happens in finance, or you want to know what happen somewhere else in the hotel. So we actually have a program where for 6 weeks you can spend time with our subject matter experts and learn if that's something that you have more of an interest in. So I'd be happy to talk about these offline also. I know we have a Zoom session set up right after this, but our development programs is something that is very near and dear to our hearts, and we can't start talking about that enough because we really like to grow our garden and help promote from within. So thank you, Liz. I think maybe the last slide might just be my information again. Excellent. So just to say, most of our positions are actually going online for application now. Again, with the timeline that we're looking at, we'll be interviewing over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be able to, I think, start our training for all of our associates. Our new training camp is going to be in September for the hotels opening in October. So we'd love to connect with anybody if you have any questions. And we're also running info sessions, which you can see through CareerForce, where we go into more detail about OMNI's culture in the hotel, just to offer any information we can for you as well. So thank you.
Great. That's a wonderful amount of information. And it looks like a beautiful location and right next to the Vikings area. So that's pretty fun. Let me just tell everyone that I posted the Zoom link information in the Q&A. So you can talk directly with Molly at 11:30 through that link or the telephone number to dial in. And certainly they can contact you at any point, right, Molly?
Absolutely. Yeah, we would love that. We're here to answer any questions, including what does it mean to open a hotel in a pandemic and what do our safety initiatives look like and all sorts of things. So we'd be very happy to connect.
Does OMNI Hotels have any other locations? I think you said no to Minnesota.
Yeah, that's correct. So we have 60 hotels really actually across North America, mostly in the United States, some in Canada, some in Mexico. So we're all over, but this is actually a first property in Minnesota. So extremely exciting to be partnered with the Vikings, and we're so honored and looking forward to that. So otherwise we are, in Texas, California, New York, really just kind of a big spread, but those might be some of our hubs areas, but we have properties actually throughout the states.
Sure. So if someone wanted to perhaps relocate outside of Minnesota, they could go to OMNI Hotels career page and look somewhere. But we want them to stay here and work for you in Eagan, right?
Absolutely. Well, we have a brand new hotel, which is such an amazing opportunity. But yes, I couldn't not recommend my amazing colleagues and sister property sites as well. So certainly, I think the pace is a little bit different at our properties right now, kind of across the board. But you can see anything with an OMNI family on the same website.
Sure. Pat, do you have any questions on your mind?
Yeah, we did have a question. If there is a link to look for the positions that are open with OMNI on your website or something?
Yeah, there is. I apologize. I realize it's actually not on this slide. omnihotels.com/careers. And ultimately, that's something that if you just want to email me directly, I would be so happy to help send that to you for a quick click or set up a call if that's helpful to talk about what we'll have coming online. But it's omnihotels.com/careers. Got it.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Molly, any last words? Anything else that you want to know? What's your timeline? You're hiring, you're interviewing. What should people expect?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll actually have a couple of weeks after our positions open up. And again, we're looking ahead. So we've got a little bit of a runway before the hotel opens, certainly. So in July and August are when we're doing our main interviews for our associates and our team to start and make sure we have a good amount of time to train and get to know our new building in September to start in October for most positions. So really, we'd love for you to apply. You can connect anytime, and then we'll be starting our conversations over the next couple weeks.
Okay. Let's see. One question that just popped up. One person went to the website while we were talking to try to apply, but when that person did so, they're doing the general profile to apply. They required me to answer the question on any preferred properties, but Eagan is not even mentioned. How do you get around that?
Yeah, thank you. If you scroll to the bottom, Viking links will be what we can select actually on that. So conveniently should be right at the bottom. It's by property name, not by city. So apologies for the confusion.
Okay, so look on the careers page, look for Viking Lakes rather than for Eagan. And then what kind of hiring process are you doing differently because of social distancing and COVID restrictions?
Yeah, that's a great question. Our team has been really focused on that over the last couple of weeks because, again, just like this experience, we would traditionally have loved to have a job fair. We have everybody come through and meet in person. And of course, we want to support everybody's health and safety right now, just for our hotel, even though we're not open, like our sister hotels that are. So we are actually doing a blend of virtual interviews. And for the folks who are able to apply now, we'll actually have a virtual job fair that we'll be able to send links to in order to interview for, depending on which position, what time, but do a virtual interview like this with our team so that we can connect safely and efficiently and then pursue further conversations from there. So we'll actually have 2 weeks of internal job fair activity coming up starting the end of July.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Okay, well, Molly, it's been fantastic to have you, and I think you can hang out for just a few more minutes and type any answers to questions that are in the Q&A area too. Thank you. I just want to let all of our viewers know some of the other events that are coming up through CareerForce Online. This week, the Veterans Services representatives have a virtual resources fair to talk about all of the resources and support functions that are available for veterans and their spouses and family members. That's on July 16th from 1 to 3 p.m. online. But as always, please register in advance through Minnesota Works so that there's time to send you out the link. Next week's virtual career fair, I'm in the process of organizing that. I know for sure I have Lejeune Steel Company in the Twin Cities, and we're working on a construction theme to it. So pass the word to anyone who has interest in working in kind of the construction and production industries in Minnesota. Job clubs online continue to go ahead. Unfortunately, I've got a typo here. I've listed last week's job club, but it is taking place again tomorrow, July 14th. It's every Tuesday. And then the interview skills workshop online, July 15th. You can find out all of these job fairs and workshops on our virtual and interactive services for career seekers page. Now, you may want some personal assistance in your job search. We've got a team that is working behind the scenes in English, Somali, and Spanish. So in English, you can contact your local CareerForce location. Go to careerforcemn.com/locations and find the location that is nearest you. Reach out to them via the email or the telephone number that's on that page. But if you or you know someone who would like assistance in Somali or Spanish, we have a couple of coworkers, my coworkers, who can help you with that. Ilyas Ali can help with Somali speaking services, and Josie Chavez and Mark Zappa can help with Spanish speaking services. You can find their information on this, or it's again on the virtual and interactive services subpage to CareerForce MN. Also, I always record these virtual career fairs and all of the other events that have been taking place, such as the job clubs online, resume writing, interview skills, and job search, are on CareerForce MN's YouTube account. Please go there, and then once you view something, you can turn on captions in English, I know, and perhaps in a couple of different languages. We have in Somali 2 workshops that have been translated and presented in Somali. You can access those too, all of them, through our CareerForce MN YouTube account. And then, as always, you can follow all of CareerForce events through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. not only CareerForce, but other locations have events going on throughout the state. Just as Molly said, on-site hiring and interviewing events and virtual events. Through our CareerForce events page, we have an events calendar for things that are taking place all over the Minnesota. I know in July 16th, this week, in Northeast Minnesota, there is a job hiring online event for the healthcare industry. So if you email me at liz.jennings, I can send you information about that. And go to our events page on CareerForce MN and look at all of the upcoming events. This is my email address, liz.jennings@state.mn.us. Our CareerForce help desk, careerforce@state.mn.us, and our telephone number. And as always, you can use minnesotaworks.net, which is part of the National Labor Exchange. And that information will have all of the upcoming or the currently posted jobs that are open throughout the state and link you to the National Labor Exchange if you want to consider relocating, but please don't. We like you in Minnesota. So please contact me for any other things. Pat Buxengard, do you have anything you want to add towards the end of this presentation?
Oh, sorry, I was muted yet. I'm just checking for any additional questions at this time. I do not see anything that wasn't already asked. I know they asked about moving forward with the positions for the hotel, and I think she answered that, how they would move forward with that. So I feel like that's about it. And then Molly did mention that she would like people to join the Zoom meeting.
Right, so as soon as I end this call, Molly can activate the Zoom link, and all of you who have questions about OMNI Viking Lakes Hotel in Eagan, please jump on there with her so you can ask your questions and introduce yourself. So thank you to all of our presenters that joined today, ABM, Seneca Foods, Ream Kenworth, Catalia Foods, and OMNI Viking Lakes Hotel. I'm so glad to have you join, and please reach out to them to consider applying. Thank you to Pat Buxengard for joining me today. So we're going to sign off now a few minutes early, but we'll be posting this onto the YouTube channel, and we hope to see you back next week. Thank you very much, everyone.